Alongside my broadcast partner Zeke Altman, I am Joey Matroni. Now Zeke, this is going to be an interesting start to the season for this Woburn girls basketball team as they've got a new look starting lineup heading into this season.
Yeah, Joey, and first of all, we're back. We're back from football, we're back for some girls basketball, and I'm so psyched to be with you today. But yeah, like you said, new look starting five. You know, last week 66-24 against Bishop Feion. I understand, it's a tough result. But with Riley Morgan, Jalen Cunniff, Shannon McCarthy, McKenna Morrison, they've got just enough to do what they did last season, and let's see if they can do it. We'll go to center court for the Star Spangled Banner and the starting lineups.
Number 35, Vivian Schofield. And now, introducing the starting lineup for the Gators. Number 22, Brooke Duzlo. Number 1, McKenna Morrison. Number 31, Shannon McCarthy. Number 13, Jalen Cunniff. And number 15, Captain Ryan Morgan. The Gators are coached by Steve Sullivan. Would everyone now please rise and remove your caps for the playing of our national anthem.
Back after starting lineups and the national anthem, Zeke, we talked about Woburn at the top of the show. Now let's take a quick second to take a look at this Stoneham Spartans team before we get underway tonight.
Yeah, Joey, 100%. And this is a very young team. Only two seniors, Brianna Pizzi and Lindsay Alves, both in the starting lineup. But the other three pieces, junior Alessandra Carpentieri, junior Ava Fitzgerald, and junior Vivian Schofield. So the starting lineup, old, but the team not so much. So it's going to be interesting to see how both young teams go against each other.
4 freshmen on this 11-girl roster for Stoneham as we're just about set and ready to get underway.
Yeah, and this year for Woburn, it's going to be important to see last year the captains, Cindy Labissiere, Hannah Surrett, Amber Hayden, Megan Quayle. When you think of those names, you think of leadership, you think of talent. Are Riley Morgan, Amari Williams, and Jasmine Morgan able to provide that? Jasmine Morgan dealing with that knee injury, but here we go, Joey.
McCarthy gets it out to Morgan, and we are underway here on WPMC. Out to the top of the key, Jalen Cunniff wide open for 3 off the mark. And it's an offensive rebound that's battled away and now taken by Stoneham on the break. And a foul is called.
Yeah, you know, turned it over there, but good hustle back by Brooke Duzlo to find the player. Yeah, I got a foul there, but you know, that's good hustle to start the season. Of course, back in our home gym, Joey.
Yes, of course. The Tanners seem to have success at home last year, but I think something as the first free throw is good, something that they seemed to struggle with at times was getting out to a hot start, but when they were able to do so, that was a big help. But we'll see.
Oh yeah, 100%, Joey. I mean, they struggled to get out to a hot start, but they were pretty successful wherever they played. I mean, 62-27 against these Spartans last year.
Into the corner it goes, above the head. Back out, swinging it in the post for McCarthy. Back outside for Cuniff. Extra pass, Morrison, 3 off the front of the rim, no good. Battled for under the post, goes the rebound, and it comes out.
Yeah, beautiful ball movement on this possession, Joey. Extra effort on the rebounding on the offensive glass, and here we go again with the ball movement.
Inside to McCarthy, who loves to go to that left hand. It's off the mark as it rolls around, and rebounded by Stoneham, and they go up the court. It's number 35, Vivian Schofield, who's dribbling on McCarthy, out for a 3. Schofield shot off the mark, and battled for is the rebound once again, and Jalen Cuniff comes away with it.
Yeah, Schofield looks pretty confident with that stroke, dribbling, but here's Morrison.
Off the mark, offensive board, McCarthy back out to Morrison, open again for the mid-range, no, and Stoneham rebound.
You could say the same exact thing about Morrison, but once again, the Tanners on that offensive glass, working hard to get those extra attempts.
Number 33, Ava Fitzgerald on the rebound. Now it goes inside for Schofield, whose left-handed layup is off the bottom of the rim. Out ahead, the outlet pass gets stolen back by the Spartans. And a reset on the elbow by Stoneham, but it goes out of bounds on the pass inside, intended for Schofield.
Yeah, Carpentieri just dribbling through the paint, trying to find an open Schofield. Couldn't do that, and Woburn are going the other way with McKenna Morrison.
Morrison, of course, last year was the main ball handler, and she'll get another year of that here as she goes all the way to the corner for Jalen Cuniff. Good ball movement once again on consecutive possessions inside for the post, but it's stolen away by Fitzgerald. Going up the court now. Now a mid-range jumper is off the mark and rebounded by Tuzolo.
Yeah, great rebound by Tuzolo. And here's Morrison up fast.
Free throw jumper, good.
Yeah, but what I was going to say, Joey, about the last possession is Riley Morgan playing great defense to force the missed shot, and Woburn went right up the other way. McKenna Morrison pushing the pace, taking that free throw jumper, and sinks it.
Carpentieri finds Schofield. Schofield comfortable dribbling that ball, but we got a traveling violation on Vivian Schofield, and the Tanners will take back possession.
There goes Morrison with that defense, and that forcing the travel. 2 straight possessions. Pretty confident stuff from the Woburn Tanners to start this game, despite the loss last week.
The thing that they can take away from that loss and some of the struggles, I think, were the aggressive defense by the Bishop Fee and Shamrocks, along with the lack of experience as well, as Morrison takes a 3 and banks it in.
The bank is open tonight. McKenna Morrison drills it off the backboard, and we are up 5-2 with 4:57 to go.
Low scoring start to the quarter as McCarthy comes away with a rebound. The outlet pass, looking for Cuniff. Does she track it down? No, it's taken away by the Stoneham Spartans. Carpentieri finds Schofield, who will take her 3. Air ball, no good, off the hands of Morrison, meaning it will stay with Stoneham.
Yeah, I want to say, Joey, two passes by Woburn down the court. Shannon McCarthy with one of them, and Jalen Cuniff with the other. Just a little, Tanner need to be a little bit more relaxed, and same with Stoneham, and that's what Lindley Paratori are telling her team.
The Euro step layup is off the mark, and McCarthy comes away with another rebound. This outlet pass is accurate. The extra pass to Riley Morgan for the layup is good. Nice find there by Jalen Cuniff.
Yeah, quick offense to get it out to Cuniff and give it to Morgan for the easy layup.
Carpentieri at the top of the key, closely guarded by Morgan, who stepped into a bigger role after the departure of Labissiere and company. Carpentieri backs it out inside. Now it goes out to the elbow. McCarthy reaches in, and another travel on Schofield, and Woburn will take over.
You know, I just want to focus on Morgan there. Once again, excellent defense, forcing the Spartan left and right, and they had to give it up, and here go Woburn the other way.
Kaylee McCarthy checks into the game for Jalen Cuniff. And we've got a whistle. Also checked into the game is number 11, Haley Zwicker. Inside it goes for the opposite number 11, Brianna Pizzi, but it's no good. And a
Apologize for the camera issues there, but we're back.
Riley Morgan guarding Lindsay Alves. Swing for number 20. That is Carissa Georgzantos. And that shot is good for the 3 by the Stoneham Spartans.
Yeah, Lila Brunel has come in for the Spartans, provided a spark, got that rebound, dished it out to her player, drilled the 3, but the Tanners have come with reinforcements of their own.
Into the post, McCarthy travels through the double team, no good on the layup.
Of course, Haley Zwicker, we saw a little bit of her last year, and Kaylee McCarthy, the sophomore, getting a little bit of play.
The drive by Georgiansas back out for number 11, or number 1, Alves.
Here's Morgan again with that defense.
They get a switch. Alves floats it up, and it's good.
Yeah, the screen there from the Spartans open up the space.
That was Carpentieri on the float make there. Zwicker swings it out to the elbow, back out in the corner. Riley Morgan over to Haley Zwicker. The lefty shoots, and it's off the mark.
A perfect possession there by the Tanners. To Morgan, swings it over to Zwicker, and just exactly what you want to see. It's just the 3 didn't get knocked down. But here comes a big substitution from Woburn head coach Steve Sullivan. And Steve Sullivan, Joey, we haven't talked about him enough. How many impressive seasons has he had in a row? Of course, last year, losing in the state semifinal to Bishop Fian. Of course, at Newton South, we were there, Joey. And the year before, in the quarterfinal in Wachusett. It's just been impressive after impressive for the Tanners.
The younger roster, of course, presents a challenge, but he's up for it. As always, the 3 is off the backboard, and Jasmine Morgan, newly into the game, gets the rebound and is promptly fouled.
Yeah, we talked about Jasmine Morgan at the beginning of the show. Morgan has dealt with knee injuries her whole basketball career in high school, and here she comes in this season trying to figure those out. She's going to be a big piece off the bench, as you saw there, pushing the pace, got fouled. And here come the Tanners once again.
She'll inbound the ball on the side out. Cuniff swings it for Tuzolo, who's also checked back in. Cuniff, and we've got McCarthy on the ball now. Cuniff inside for Morgan on the corner, who came out to grab that one. And the pass was intended for Cuniff, but she took one step forward, and it's behind her, and Tuzolo turns the ball over.
Yeah, both Kaylee and Riley McCarthy will be playing big roles for this team. Of course, Shannon McCarthy's cousin. So it's really been a family affair for this team.
Inside it goes. Out for the wing. A 3 on the way. It's number 2. That is Leah Brunel, who will make the 3-pointer to give Stoneham their first lead of the night.
Yep, getting that early rebound and now hitting that 3, really providing a great spark off the bench, continuing to help these Spartans succeed.
Tuzolo tried to answer on the other end, shot was no good, and another hockey-style substitution for Steve Sullivan.
Yep, Morrison, McCarthy, and Morgan all coming back into the game.
McCarthy out to Morrison, who shoots a 3 off the mark, off the backboard, but McCarthy there to track down the offensive board. Now back out to the wing, a swing to the corner. Cuniff has it, and we'll swing it out back to Morrison. The primary ball handler, Tuzolo, opposite wing for Cuniff, back to the top of the key. McCarthy, back out for Morrison, 3, good!
Joey, I felt you said each name 10 times. I mean, the ball movement there was stellar, finding Morgan to Morrison, to Cuniff, to Tuzolo, back to Morrison. And here's Morgan with the excellent defense once again.
Dribbles out of some defense, Cuniff on the other end. Hand off to McCarthy. Back out to the top of the key. It's her cousin. Morrison takes the jumper. It's good. McCarthy to Morrison, connecting for the bucket.
Morrison was the scoring leader of this team last season, and she continues to be that spark when the Tanners need it. 12-9 with time ticking down in this first quarter.
For a final 4 seconds into the post. Got to get a shot away if you're Stoneham, and they will not. That one will not count, even though it was no good either way. And through the first 8 minutes, the Woburn Tanners find themselves up 12-9. Zeke, what have you seen?
Yeah, I've just seen some great basketball by the Woburn Tanners. Sometimes. I mean, it hasn't been the most consistent thing, but sometimes. When they get the ball swinging around the court, ball moving, whether it be Morgan, Cuniff, McCarthy, Morrison, Tuzlo, that old starting lineup, it felt fluid. They found their open shots. They found their three-pointers like we saw with Morrison a couple possessions ago. Morrison in this game with 10 points, really providing the team points right now. 10 out of the 12 points. So it's interesting to see how the Spartans can respond to what Morrison has been doing in this one. Joey, talk a little bit more about Stoneham.
Stoneham, I think they seem to get started off a little bit slow. As we knew, they struggled last year against this Woburn team, losing 62-27, which we already mentioned. But their shot making has been good. They've made a three-pointer, and their ball movement has been similar to the Tanners. One thing that stuck out to me is the play of number 35, Vivian Schofield. She's sort of trying to be that inside player while also being comfortable dribbling the ball, which kind of can stretch out the offense if successful.
Yeah, she hasn't had all the points like Morrison has, but she's been pretty much the whole team when it comes to bringing up the court, providing a spark, and giving them an option down low, up high, dribbling the basketball, passing the basketball. It's really been Vivian Schofield. But what I've noticed is Lila Brunel off the bench, number 2. You guys will notice her as she's in the paint, grabbing rebounds, and outside hitting three-point shots. And she just came off the bench, and very, very important for Lindley Paratori, the head coach of Stoneham, as she's become a big spark plug for this Spartan team.
Going back to Morrison, she was the leading scorer against Fian last week with 9 and already outscored that today with 10 in just the first quarter.
Well, yeah, Joe, I don't think the Spartans are going to give the same approach that Bishop Fian did, because Bishop Fian are arguably the best team in the state.
Inside, but it's a block by the Tanners on the other end, and now they'll go the other way. Looking to push the pace is Morgan over to Morrison. Back to Morrison, inside for McCarthy, who finds a double team but works through it and nails the layup.
Yeah, McCarthy finally getting the post game going as she finds that left hand, like you said, Joey, that works so well. Got the roll in the basketball, soft touch, sinks it.
That left hand is her strong suit, so you know it's a good thing if she's able to get that going. As Jalen Cuniff comes away with the steal, and she'll set up the offense. Into the corner it goes. Back out to the wing. A swing for Morgan. Wide open Cuniff in the corner. Bang!
The ball movement once again, Joey. We talked about it at the break, but it starts with the defense. Tuzlo, Morrison, and Morgan have been incredible on defense. And here's Tuzlo once again as she is wrapped up by number 1, Alessandra Carpentieri.
She met the double team, and they've got a jump ball in the possession arrow, still pointing towards Woburn. Meaning on the next jump ball, possession will favor Stoneham. Morrison slowly fakes to Cuniff. Instead, Tuzlo pump fakes. Now into the corner it goes. Riley Morgan finds McCarthy. Swing for Morrison. Another corner jumper. Tuzlo this time off the mark. McCarthy fighting for it, but it'll favor Stoneham.
Good work by the Tanners once again, getting that shot in the corner. We saw the one from Cuniff before. That one, Tuzlo just a little bit farther in. She misses it, but once again, good offense by the Tanners.
Carpentieri misses the layup. Jalen Cuniff comes away with it, looking to push the pace. Backs it out for Morgan. Wide open. McCarthy tries a 3. Off the mark. but an offensive board once again. Tanners have had some success with this early. Back out for Cuniff, corner. Tuzolo shoots the three and knocks it down.
Wow, Joey, the Tanners are starting to feel it from beyond the arc. Tuzolo, Cuniff, Morrison, it's all coming down for the Tanners right now.
Stretches their lead to double digits at 11, and we've got a traveling violation going against the Spartans. And the Tanners will take over possession, and we've got a whistle and a stoppage in play.
Yeah, Joey, just Coach Steve Sullivan making rapid substitutions. And if you've never tuned in to one of Coach Steve Sullivan's games, he likes to make substitutions incredibly fast, as Woburn are on a 13-0 run right now, really stretching this one out.
Went down 9-7, and just like that, with a snap of a finger, this offense is on a roll. McCarthy outside, corner, another swing. They like this corner play up to this point in the game. Haley Zwicker back in the game, swings it for Morrison. Morrison, Tuzolo already made one last possession. Now inside for McCarthy, but goes to the right and gets fouled. Usually likes to favor that left hand, but trying to expand the game into the right side.
Yeah, it's pretty deadly, Joey, when you get Shannon McCarthy one-on-one against a defender down low in the post, as she overpowers her defender and gets to the free throw line.
McCarthy's first from the line touches the net, but it's no good. Of course, Woburn boys also taking on the Stoneham Spartans tonight, but at Stoneham.
Brunel, that spark plug off the bench with 2 fouls. And like you said, Joey, we'll talk about more about the boys team later, but they have won 54-46 against the Spartans in Stoneham, as they are on the bus back to see this one in Woburn.
Yeah, Zeke, there's a lot to talk about with this boys basketball team, and we'll get into that more in halftime, but we've still got 5 minutes and change left to go in the first half of this one.
Yes, so
with the Lady Tanners up 20-9.
So exciting, Joey, but this team is too, the Lady Tanners.
Vivian Schofield back into the game, the jumper off the mark, and Morgan tracks it down. That is Jasmine Morgan. McKenna Morrison pushing with ace. A 3 by Zwicker is good! The Tanners remain on fire from distance. Never mind, that was a 2. But still, the long mid-range to 3-point game has been really on fire for the Lady Tanners as of late. And it's 22-9 with another timeout. With 4:56 left to go, Tanners up by 13, and we're back in the studio here with
Joey,
you all.
Like we said, Joey, 22-9. It's been a 15-0 run. The Tanners have really been getting it done. And let's talk a little bit more about the boys team, because we know we wanted to get back to that. The girls are in cruise control right now, 22-9. New head coach, David White. Very new identity. Working hard, playing defense, getting the boards. Joey, what do you like about that?
I think I like that you said identity, because I feel like they sort of lacked an identity last season. Like, they could be a good team at times, but there was nothing that was the calling card, let's say, for this boys basketball team, and I think that's going to change this year.
Yeah, you couldn't have said it more better. I couldn't have said it more better myself. And Joey, Tanner Pride, 2 words that define the sports program here. That's when both teams are doing well, the girls team and the basketball team supporting each other. And that's what we want this season. 2 good teams to call and 2 good teams for you guys to watch.
Tanner showing some press, but the Stoneham Spartans are able to get it inbounds. Jasmine Morgan with some tight defense, but a foul.
Yeah, and Joey, like we said, this Spartans team young. But once again, the Tanners are also incredibly young. Only 3 seniors, and those are only 4 seniors. My fault. With 3 of them being captains, the 4th one being Sophia Olsen.
Schofield gets it back off the mark, no good. Morrison looking to push the pace again. She's got Jasmine Morgan running with her, goes the other way to Zwicker. Inside from McCarthy, who turns and shoots and gets fouled once again.
It looked like she had 3 people surrounding her, but she found a way to get the open layup, and to prevent that open layup, the Spartans had to foul. And here she is once again back at the line. 2nd time at the line tonight.
Makes the first one there to increase the lead once again, 23-9. Number 33, Ava Fitzgerald, picks up that last foul. And McCarthy misses the back half. Schofield handling the ball once again. Slowly being guarded by McCarthy. Backs it out, getting a screen. Amari Williams checks in and gets the steal. Haley Zwicker with pace the other way. McCarthy on the elbow, above the head. Pass to Amari Williams. The extra pass for a three, off the mark. Still a battle for the rebound and taken in by Stoneham.
Yeah, that pass by Amari Williams was perfect. Getting the ball quickly out to Morrison. Morrison misses the three, but continuing to see exactly what you want from this Tanner's offense when it comes to ball movement.
Carpentieri backing it out towards the elbow. The jumper off the mark. Still a battle for the rebound, and McCarthy comes away with it. Pass was deflected, but off a Stoneham player means that the Tanners will retain possession.
Yeah, Morgan, McCarthy, and Cuniff back into this ball game as Morrison, McCarthy, and Zwicker take a seat.
That is Kaylee McCarthy, one of 3 McCarthys on this roster. The jumper is good by number 44, Riley McCarthy. The drive and another whistle. That call goes against number 15, Riley Morgan. Jalen Cuniff will guard the inbound. It goes to the corner, and the cutter was number 11, Brianna Pizzi.
Yeah, Cuniff did well to stay with her.
Back out for Schofield. Schofield being closely guarded by McCarthy. Now over comes Morgan, and a switch there. Floats it up, no good, but a late whistle.
Coach Sullivan didn't like that call. He thought his defense stood tall the whole time, hands up. But here's Schofield at the line. We talked about her bringing the ball into the paint, bringing the ball out to the three-point line. She does it all for this team.
Indeed she does, and it seems like the offense sort of continues to run through her as the first free throw is no good.
This run up to 18-0. Can Schofield stop it with this free throw?
Number 14, Mia Toronto checks in for the first time today. Schofield's second free throw is nothing but nylon. Now the Tanners push it ahead. Jalen Cuniff swings it for Tuzolo, who's open for 3. Off the mark, no good. Cuniff tried to take it away, unsuccessful, and it's Schofield again on the ball.
No problem, Joey. The Tanners continue to get open looks, and that's all you want.
Sometimes the possession will go great, except for the ball going in the basket, and that's what I think you've seen a couple times tonight for the Tanners.
Joey, I'm starting to lose count of all the travels the Spartans are having, but it's pretty obvious it's the Tanners' defense that's forcing them.
Yeah, they've been pretty swarming, and their switches have been quite smooth, which is something that has always been a good, as the last turnover was the 10th of the game for the Stoneham Spartans, as Morrison's jumper is off the mark. Cuniff open for 3 at the top of the key, and she knocks it down.
Yeah, and that starts with the Shannon McCarthy rebound there at the bottom of the paint, just straight bodying another girl out of there and finding Cuniff at the top of the key for the three-point shot.
Riley Morgan closely guarding the ball handler, number 1, Alessandra Carpentieri. Schofield, McCarthy. The handoff goes back to Schofield, who's got a lane this time. The layup too strong. Morrison with some pace up ahead, the jumper. Off the mark, offensive board, Morgan fighting in between a double team. And a timeout. Taken by Steve Sullivan to keep possession.
Yeah, another smart call by Steve Sullivan to get that timeout. Tanner's on a big-time run here, now stretching that to 21-1 run as Steve Sullivan wants to keep that going with the rebound down low. Joey, what have you seen from the Tanners so far in the second quarter?
I think this is a lot of what we saw last year, and we saw the success of the Tanners. I think a lot of it actually runs through Shannon McCarthy, and if she's able to get into the post, she usually has success going to that left, but is sort of expanding to the right as well. But something we've seen done very well up to this point is the kicking out for those threes.
Yeah,
and the
100%.
Tanners have been able to knock down those shots.
Yeah, when they swing it around the arc, they're finding good stuff. When they find that center can either go for the shot down low, that being Shannon McCarthy, or find Tuzlo or Zwicker or Cuniff outside for the three. It's just the setup is so good from head coach Steve Sullivan. Every year it seems to be done to perfection.
A lot of this Lady Tanner offense is willing to shoot the three, which is always a good thing to have, as the pass was intended inside from McCarthy, but no good. Going back the other way are the Spartans. It's inside again, this time for Toronto, no good. Jalen Cuniff fights for the rebound and gets it. Rips it away from the opposing player. McCarthy fakes the corner three, instead drives in and gets fouled again. The Spartans have really struggled to guard McCarthy and having to resort to multiple fouls just to keep her from getting inside.
100%, Joey. And like you said, that offense really runs through her as she has the ball here, finds Morrison.
Morrison drives in, floats it up off the backboard, no good. And it's rebounded by Pizzi.
Joey, one of the main questions this year is who's going to be that X factor for this Tanners team? Last year, Cindy Labissiere, of course, being the MVP of the Middlesex League. Can it be McKenna Morrison? Can it be Shannon McCarthy this year as the Spartans float in a floater, as Cuniff finds Morrison on the inbound? But who's it going to be? Morrison, McCarthy? Can Riley Morgan step up? Can Haley Zwicker play a big role? Cuniff had a great season towards the end of last year as she travels there. But can it be her? Because this Tanners team, you know, you look at it right now, they can be successful in the Middlesex League, but can they be successful in the state? The answer is yes, they can be successful in the state, but one of those few girls has to step up and be big time.
And of course, I think part of it always comes back to Coach
Tough
Sullivan
floater there,
as
Joey.
Carpentieri knocks down the tough shot. Scheduling a tough team like Bishop Fee early in the season can get you ready for the later playoff opportunities, as we saw. And they met Bishop Fee in the state semifinal a year ago and came up just short.
Yeah, and the most interesting part of it for me is their last preseason scrimmage was against Wachusett. They played that, I believe, on the Tuesday, and then they played Bishop Fee on the Friday. So Coach Steve Sullivan wanted to face the team he lost to 2 years ago and the team he lost to last year, just to give the Lady Tanners something to look forward to when it comes to the playoffs, because they surely are one of the better teams in the Middlesex League, as they haven't lost in the Middlesex League for almost 3 years now.
Carpentieri dribbling around the key. The jumper in the mid-range is no good. Tapped up by McCarthy and rebounded, but it goes right to Coach Sullivan on the sideline. And that's the end of the first half, with the Lady Tanners doubling up the Stoneham Spartans by a score of 28-14. We'll be back after a quick break to talk a little bit more about Woburn boys basketball.
Last call for the 50-50 raffle. Tickets are being sold at the table in the corner. Again, last call for the 50-50 raffle.
1 off the court.
Welcome back inside WPMC Studios as we get set and ready for the second half of basketball with the Lady Tanners up currently 28-14. And as we said at the end of the first half, we're going to take another look at boys basketball after their opening victory against the Stoneham Spartans on the boys' side. Zeke, what can you say about that?
Yeah, 54-46, the Tanners won by on the boys' side, like you said, Joey. But a big performance from the Tanners in their first game. Head coach David White, other additions in the coaching staff, Eric Bowles, Coach Champagne, all these coaches really creating a new identity like we mentioned before. The starting five was Nick DeFelice, Mikey Sullivan, of course, the son of girls head coach Steve Sullivan, Thomas O'Brien, Chris Chiodo, and Dylan Sigsbury. Of course, Dylan Sigsbury, the star football player at our high school. But big things to come. A big win versus Stone to start the season, but a massive challenge will be coming up next against Wakefield at home. I'll be here. Unfortunately, Joey won't be, but we'll have our old friend Hadi Bilal, who we haven't seen for so long, but he will be here for that game as he's been, hanging out with the football team of late. Joey.
Of course, the backup quarterback, he got some action this year in some of the better offensive games for the Tanners. But yeah, Zeke, going back to the boys basketball squad for a second, a complete culture change that head coach David White has brought in, which has created more of a community, I think, for this basketball team, and fighting more as a team and less as individuals.
Yeah, and of course, my brother being on the team, Jacoby Altman, one of the point guards on the team, I can talk about early morning practices on school days, weekend practices. They are really working hard to change the culture of that program. Last year, not even making the playoffs, being one of the lower teams in Division I. They are trying to be something different this year as we move back to Lady Tanner basketball.
McKenna Morrison gets it started back out to Brooke Tuzelo. Shannon McCarthy swings it for Uniff. Another swing for Morrison into the corner. The three rolls around and it's good.
Riley Morgan been playing very good defense throughout this ball game, but here she comes up big with the three-point shot of her own. We hadn't seen her shooting much before that.
Tanners extend their lead to 17-16. As they come with the press, it's deflected by Morrison and straight out of bounds. The press has been something that the Lady Tanners have struggled to break out of themselves in the past, but it's also been a successful defensive strategy for them as well.
Here comes the same approach from Stoneham with Schofield with the basketball.
Here comes a double team from the Tanners. Now they switch back out man to man. And it's deflected, a loose ball. Riley Morgan still chasing after it. And it's signaled a jump ball, meaning possession will favor the Tanners. Correction, that's a shot clock violation going against the Spartans. Either way, the Tanners take back over. It's a mid-range jumper by McKenna Morrison off the mark.
Another another travel in this ball game, but I want to note the McCarthy pass to Morrison. It was a zip pass. It reminds me of Johnny Mugisha in the Woburn Rec Basketball League. Catch that on Thursday nights at the Joyce Middle School.
Sanders bring the press again. A high arcing pass into another double team. Inside the post it goes, loose ball, McCarthy going for it. Instead it's an and one layup for Stoneham.
Yeah, Carpentieri, 4 points before that, now 6 points, and she has a chance to make it 7 on the and one layup. Bunnell having 5 points, Carpentieri having 6, and Pizzi having 4. 10 turnovers, though, for the Spartans.
Free throw no good, and back the other way go the Tanners. On the break, Morrison floats it up off the front of the rim, gets her own rebound, and squirts out of the defense. Inside the post it goes, another double team on defense by the Tanners, but it's another whistle.
Yeah, like we said, Joey Morrison with 10 points, Cunniff having 6 points, McCarthy with 3 points, but with McCarthy it's never about the points. 8 rebounds. 8 rebounds. That's exactly what the Tanners need on the board, and we'll talk about the scoring a little later in the program.
Stoneham changes up the pace a little, slows it down. At the top of the Tanner Bull logo, it's number 1, Carpentieri again. This time swings it for Schofield. Schofield has the angle to drive, floats it up, and it's good. Jalen Cunniff gets her dribble back. McCarthy swings it for Tuzolo. Tuzolo's 3. No good.
Stoneham have come out very fast in this one, getting good shots. Tanners have taken 2 or 3 contested shots in a row.
Carpentieri over to the corner, trapped by Cunniff.
Tanners just need to figure out a defensive presence that they had in the first half here.
Schofield at the top of the key, still waiting on the open teammate. And swing down low, the layup off the mark. Carpentieri no good. Tapped out, and still this one it's loose. Riley Morgan gets it up ahead. A diving play to get possession for the Tanners. Now it's inside for Morrison, who gets fouled. Quite the hustle play there by Riley Morgan to keep possession for the Tanners.
100%, and was worried about her knee a little bit because someone fell right on it, and Morgan found the pass out front, and Morrison is here at the free throw line. So good progression play by the Tanners.
Now Zeke, we know McKenna Morrison and Shannon McCarthy are the top 2 for this Lady Tanner team, but I think one of the questions that needs to be answered is who's going to be those secondary scorers for this team as we get later on in the season.
Yeah, Joey, that's 100% a great question. We talked about X factors earlier, but you got to score points to win games. Morrison, McCarthy, we talked about before. But another piece is Jasmine Morgan. I think off the bench, she's one of the most agile players on the team, tallest players on the team, and she can get it done. Of course, that knee bothering her, but if she can get healthy, she can be the perfect piece for this Tanners team.
When she's fully healthy, I think also her hustle can be a factor, as we just saw an example there by Riley Morgan with the deflected pass. As it's out ahead for Jalen Cunniff, who tracks it down. Inside it goes. The extra pass, and the layup is good.
Wasn't that pretty, Joey? The pass into Morgan there, and the flip out to McCarthy, and McCarthy puts it in.
Great sequence there as Schofield goes behind the back, holding it. McCarthy on the defense. This time it's a 3, but a whistle on it. The 3's no good. And possession will go back to the Tanners on the side out. A legal screen, possibly, the call there. As Schofield checks out. Morrison finds Riley McCarthy. Morrison over the head pass back to McCarthy. Her jumper is good.
Yeah, it seems like Riley McCarthy, when she's in that 15-foot jumper area, she seems to knock it down every single time. And when we talk about scoring, Swicker is another one. She can be a big guard off the bench and play some good defense, and maybe she could be a scoring option as Morrison continues her great defense.
Tough defense by Morgan there. Morrison, excuse me. No backcourt violation as the ball was deflected. Inside, nice pass. Shot no good, and a rebound by the Tanners.
Yeah, that was a great pass by Carpentieri down low, but Pizzi could not finish it.
McCarthy thought about the three, goes to her cousin, back to McCarthy inside. The other McCarthy gets it, and it's another jumper that's off the mark. McCarthy to McCarthy to McCarthy, the triangle connection.
Incredible, Joey. It almost looked like they had a little bit of chemistry there.
Step back three, rattles around, no good. That was by number 20, Krista Georgunzos, as McCarthy finishes on the other end.
Yeah, Morrison pushing the pace there at the last second, dishes it out to her fellow star, Shannon McCarthy, for the layup. Zwicker called for the foul there, just a little slight reach there.
They went for the early screen at the half-court line to open up some space there as well. As it's another mass substitution for Sullivan and company. Pizzi inbounds over to Georguntsov. Who's trying to dribble past Morgan, but she's had tight defense all night. No good. Rebound by Amari Williams. Out ahead goes Unev, who takes the jumper off the mark. No good. Rebound by McCarthy. All three of them have been a force inside tonight. Amari Williams backtracks on defense and a foul.
Williams, of course, the senior captain, has been playing basketball all of her life. And I want to mention something, Joey. The three captains, Riley Morgan quoted the Linscott Ballers. All went to the Linscott Rumford Elementary School. Amari Williams, Jasmine Morgan, Riley Morgan.
First free throw is good. That is number 1, Alyssa Carpentieri at the line.
Of course, Brooke Tuzelo, with family ties in this basketball program. Of course, beloved Brett Tuzelo, quarterback and power forward of Woburn Sports last year, has departed.
So Worcester State University to play basketball.
Of course, we wish him all the best and can't wait till we see him at a couple games of our own.
McCarthy swings it for Tuzelo, inside for Williams, back to McCarthy. Riley McCarthy off the mark, no good. Gets her on board, left-handed layup, still no good. Riley Morgan was there for the rebound, but it goes out of bounds, and she'll sprint right to the basketball. Another quick substitution for Woburn. Jalen Cunniff sets up the inbound play all the way back for Morrison. Goes up to get that one. The three is good. The three-point shooting has been a strength of the Lady Tanners all night long, and it continues.
Yeah, I think she had a foot on the line there, Joey, but Morgan continues to have a sweet stroke from the field as the Tanners go up 40-20. Wow, it's become an avalanche here.
Doubling up the Spartans for the second time tonight already.
Yeah, Joey, of course that run that they had holding the Spartans to about 9 points for about a millennium, the Tanners had the Spartans, but the Spartans continue to get back into the ball game, getting up to 20 points. But the Tanners said, wait a minute, not on our home floor, as they've come to a 40-20, 20-point lead. And Joey, I want to go back to the question you asked before, scoring. We didn't mention one name, it was Riley Morgan. She continues to be a good shooter and play good defense. X factors and scoring are two different things. Scoring, you need to win games. X factors are the whole 9 yards. And Riley Morgan's one of the players like McKenna Morrison and Shannon McCarthy that have the whole 9 yards. Can pass the ball, can shoot the ball, can dribble the ball, can play excellent defense. And I think another one of those players is Brooke Tuzelo, also starting. So they have 4 starters, along with Jasmine Morgan, who we talked about before, that can really be X factors for this team.
Another thing I liked about specifically Riley Morgan, and we connected back to the captains from last year, those being Hayden, Labissiere, and Quayle. They all brought the energy when there seemed to be a lonely action for the Tanners offense. And I think Riley Morgan is someone that can supply that once again.
Yeah, and I think one thing that the Tanners really don't have on this team so far, of course, anything can be developed over time throughout this season if they keep working hard. But something that they don't have is Cindy Labissiere's speed, agility, height to get down the floor and get a transition layup really fast. A player that could do that is Brooke Tuzlo. She's tall, she's fast, she can get down the floor. Another piece, like you said, Riley Morgan, Jalen Cunniff. Morrison can kind of do it, but she doesn't have the height that Labissiere, Quayle, that they had.
I think something that we've tried, or that the Tanners have tried to combat that is the outlet passing, which has been semi-successful, but there's also been some mistakes with that as well, as the first half of the free throw is no good. The back end is up and good.
And I want to shout out a player on the Tanners, Janalessi Cepeda Jr., who we could see get some run throughout this season. She had a good end to the season, although in garbage time in some games, but she played well in those garbage time minutes.
Zwicker to Tuzolo. Tuzolo over the head looking for another teammate. It's Sarah McCarthy. Back to Tuzolo, who jab steps. Loose ball, gets it back from the seat of her pants. Gets it back to McCarthy. Back to Tuzolo, who's hanging around that three-point line inside to Morgan. Morgan, McCarthy. McCarthy with the left, floats it up, no good. Gets her own board, and still no good, still loose. And another rebound by Tuzolo and a foul.
Yeah, Joey, the continuous second chance points that the Tanners have to get because of the rebounding from Tuzolo and McCarthy, and the options that they give each other to get the basketball moving around the court.
Tanners look like they've got a set play going here with a double screen. McCarthy finds Morrison for three. Beautifully done by the Tanners to set up that three-pointer.
Steve Sullivan going deep in his bag for that one.
Brad Stevens style with the out-of-bounds play.
As the boys team starts trickling into the gym here after their big win.
A different kind of starting lineup than what we saw last year, but it pays off in a big way with an opening night win.
Yeah, of course, Joey, a freshman, a player that has never played for the Tanners before, and Dylan Sigsbury, Nick DeFelice, who didn't see many minutes last year.
Thomas O'Brien also getting an increase in minutes.
It's different this year, Joey. It's different for both of these teams.
Under 30 we go in the third quarter with the Tanners still up 20. McKenna Morrison takes it up. The bounce pass. Haley Zwicker coming on the swing. They double Morrison, leaving Morgan open. The pass to McCarthy is deflected and go the other way to the Spartans, and it's a foul.
And Joey, I want to rephrase. When I say it's different for both of these teams, in very different ways. The girls' team different personnel-wise, losing a lot of girls last year. The boys' team is different culture-wise.
A new identity seems to be building under head coach David White. As the first free throw is no good.
Part of it's trying to find that identity that the girls' team has, Steve Sullivan. That winning culture. Act like they've done this before. After they beat this team, don't walk off this court jumping up and down. Act like they've done this before, which they have year after year after year.
No, Zeke, it's something I thought that was interesting that I heard from you as the second free throw is no good but rebounded by McCarthy. Morrison back the other way, and it's another jumper is good as it's 4 seconds to go, and that will end the quarter as the Spartans will not get a shot off. And we go to the final 8 minutes with the Tanners up 22, 45 to 23. Now to go what I was going to say while we have a moment. We talked about the differences due to new head coach David White, and something I found interesting that you had told me was that David White has his eyes on a playoff berth, and it almost feels like it would be a failure if he doesn't really change this program around.
Yeah, 100% Joey. And the team goal, it's winning the Middlesex League. Some people say, oh, that's impossible. They were not great in the Middlesex League, losing twice against Winchester, losing once against Belmont, losing against Wakefield, Burlington, all these different teams that they lost to in the Middlesex League. But here, they're trying to do something different. They're trying to forget, have a short memory. Like Ted Lasso says, have a mind like a goldfish. Have a short memory. And David White's trying to have that as they're building that new identity, that new winning culture as it started here against Stoneham. Yes, I want to mention something. They beat Stoneham last year. That Stoneham team, pretty similar to what it is now, but they beat Stoneham last year. And we want to go back to the girls here with the consistent winning culture, with Morrison having 17 points and 5 assists, and McCarthy having 12 rebounds, Joey. She continues to get it done.
Like you said, Zeke, earlier, the points aren't what really is the biggest issue for McCarthy. She wants to make her impact in different ways, and most of the time it's those rebounds.
Yeah, 100% Joey. And one of the common denominators of Shannon McCarthy is when she's in the game, she's getting points, but also when she's in the game, she's getting rebounds.
Ball goes out of bounds, which means the Tanners will take over, and it's another Stoneham turnover, which has been an Achilles heel here for them tonight. As Riley Morgan inbounds it to McKenna Morrison. Morrison gets it to McCarthy. McCarthy back out for Morrison. Morrison's 3 off the mark. Offensive board once again. More opportunities for second chance points. Cuniff drives in, backs it out. McCarthy swing for Morrison. Along the key it goes. The 3 is off the top of the backboard, which means it will not count. However, the shot did go in.
Yeah, and another thing to highlight there and emphasize is the ball movement. Move all the way around the arc, past the key, give to McCarthy in the paint, all the way out to number 12, Kaylee McCarthy. She takes the 3, obviously a little wacky with the way it went into the basket there.
The jumper on the other end is no good. Cuniff fighting for the rebound and comes away with it. She's got some of that energy that we were talking about that may need to be found once again in trying to push the ball down the floor. Morrison swings it over to the corner. It goes back inside for McCarthy. Here comes a double team. The left-handed floater's no good. Outlet pass for the Spartans. And the layup rolls in and out. McCarthy fighting for the jump ball. And let's see where the possession arrow points. The Tanners will keep it. Under 7 minutes to go now in the final stanza of tonight's home opener ball game for the Tanners, as the 3 is off the mark and no good. But the pass goes right out of bounds, and the Tanners will immediately get back a possession.
So let's talk about the rotation a little bit for the Tanners. Of course, you have your 5 starters, but pieces you've seen come off the bench. The McCarthy twins, Kaylee McCarthy, Riley McCarthy, the 2 sophomores. Haley Zwicker, the junior who we saw a little bit of last year. As well as Amari Williams and Jasmine Morgan, the 2 captains. So it looks
As
like
Morgan's pass is deflected, as the layup's no good and McCarthy gets the rebound.
yeah, and like I was saying, Joey, as McCarthy travels there, Stoneham will get the ball back. Coach Steve Sullivan wants to go 10 deep. He wants to get options from the bench as well as her 5 starters as Zwicker checks back into the game. With 6:19 left in this game, up 22, we'll see when he goes deeper into his bench.
It's already an extended rotation compared to last year, as he tended to stay with the veterans a lot more and have a 7 to 8 girl rotation. As Stoneham will get another underneath the basket inbound. They're looking inside the paint, and it's deflected out of bounds on the defense by Morrison.
Yeah, last year with the starting lineup being Morrison, Hayden, Labissiere, Quayle, and McCarthy. Of course, you had Hannah Surratt off the bench. Zwicker got some time, but not much. And that was pretty much it for consistent playing time. Also there was Riley Morgan and Brooke Tuzelo, but that was pretty much it. That was the eight-man rotation.
The Spartans go with a little bit of a dribble handoff. Here comes Zwicker on the defense by Carpentieri, who spins, floats it up off the mark, and goes to Morrison, who's looking to push the pace a little bit, even here later in the game. Zwicker's three, no good. Offensive board once again. The second chance points have been a killer for this Spartan defense. And another whistle. Number 3, Vivian Aria checks in for the first time tonight as McKenna Morrison's floater is pure.
McCarthy and Williams looking to check back in this game with Jasmine Morgan.
Georgian Zeus will bring that one up and get it to Carpentieri, who shoots a 3 and knocks it down. Beautiful shot there.
Stoneham sticking around. 21-point lead for the Tanners with 5:13 left to go.
Morrison trying to answer on the other end and does so.
2 words, Joey. Just kidding. They're not sticking around. 24-point lead the Tanners have right now.
Nice pass inside and an easy layup for 2. With the score 50-28 and 4:56 to go, we've got another whistle and a timeout with the Tanners up by a ton here late in the 4th.
Yeah, Steve Sullivan choosing to call a timeout here. And, you know, at halftime, a couple stats we had here was 10 turnovers Stoneham, 7 turnovers Woburn. Those 10 turnovers from Stoneham, Tanner's defense. Stoneham, yes, you could say, oh, they've made a couple mistakes, but it's been the Tanner's defense. Girls like Morrison, Morgan, Tuzelo, those are the big 3 when it comes to defense that I think about. And they've shown their presence today, Joey.
Indeed they have, and I think also people like the Morgans being Riley and Jasmine, and also someone like Jalen Cunniff have done well sliding into their bigger roles at least today, which is an improvement from what we saw against Bishop Ian.
Yeah, 100%, Joey. And, you know, when I think about Jalen Cunniff, I think about Al Horford, a player that's not going to score the bucket every single time she goes down the court, but she's going to do the little things, stuff that isn't shown on the stat sheet, whether it be rebounds, assists, that's moving around the floor, getting open, giving those hockey assists, as we like to say, Joey.
Those extra passes can be the difference in a game every once in a while as McCarthy takes it here. Jasmine Morgan also checking back in. Inside for Amari Williams in the post. Out to Riley McCarthy, who looks for Morgan. Inside to a wide open Amari Williams. Good ball movement there by the Tanners.
Fantastic.
Resulting in an easy layup.
Fantastic. McCarthy finding Morgan. Morgan being patient, finding Williams for, like you said, the easy layup. Just great ball movement. And that's one of the first times we've seen the ball moving inside rather than outside.
Morrison still playing the tight defense and nearly came away with another steal.
Checking in for Stoneham, number 35,
Schofield back in the game now, and she will take the inbound. Something I meant to mention earlier, but I was unable to. New uniforms this year for Woburn basketball as well. As Carpentieri drives in, floats it up. Acrobatic shot is off the mark and out of bounds.
Yeah, Joey, and those uniforms are for the girls and boys teams, so it's just to see what people think about them. I think they're kind of nice. I think a little too much with the patterns at times, but for the most part, pretty nice.
Two-tone shorts, not something you see every day, but
Yeah, just interesting with that.
under 4 minutes to go now as it's a nice move by Carpentieri. But it does not result in a basket as Amari Williams comes away with it.
Yeah, beautiful crossover from Carpentieri. Tanner's looking to slow it down here as they're up 24 in this one.
out of bounds in favor of in favor of the Spartans, excuse me. And McCarthy checking back in. That is Shannon McCarthy. Not checking. Yes, she is. Never mind. Coach Steve Sullivan made sure she got in for the final 3:36 of this ball game.
Shout out to assistant coach and JV coach Mike Fowle, AP Calc teacher phenom.
Carpentieri's fouled by Morgan on some more tight defense, which is a common denominator we've seen from the Lady Tanners tonight.
Of course, we mentioned Yanalessi Cepeda earlier in the show as she got a first place at the DECA meet today. So impressive talent from the Tanners on the business side of things. Of course, the individuals went today. The teams will go tomorrow.
Inside the ball goes for number 2, back out for a 3 off the mark, no good. Another nice rebound by Amari Williams, who's played nicely in her limited minutes tonight. Almost for a second there, it looked like she was set up for a Luke Cornett contest, but instead jumps out to the ball handler. Cornett, always known for getting those hands up, even if he's not right next to the defender. As the ball goes out of bounds again, Stoneham will take it this time. Celtics, unfortunately, were down 10 at the end of the first quarter, playing the Cleveland Cavaliers tonight. As we are now under 3 minutes to go here tonight. And the Lady Tanners look like they are headed to their first victory of the season, which will improve their record to 1-1. And 1-0 in the Middlesex League, as the little fadeaway jumper is good by Schofield.
Yeah, Cleveland Cavaliers, when you think of Cleveland, you think of LeBron James, continuing to get his trophies that include asterisks with them, whether it be the bubble trophy or the in-season tournament trophy. To quote my friend Michael Nicholas, that trophy is Mickey Mouse.
Of course, the inaugural NBA League Cup champions are the Los Angeles Lakers.
But back to real basketball in the Woburn Tanners.
McCarthy loses the ball on a nice turnover, turned by the Spartans back the other way, and a quick rebound by the Tanners, and it's out to Haley Zwicker, who immediately gets pressed. McCarthy was open, she couldn't find her. Instead, it goes out to Jasmine Morgan.
Yeah, impressive dribbling there from Zwicker to dribble between two and through the traffic.
Zwicker gets it back inside the lefty. Finish is good. Kaylee McCarthy knocks that one down.
Yeah, the McCarthy twins have been stellar tonight, both of them.
And of course, Shannon McCarthy, one of the main points of this basketball team, the cousin of the twins. Free throw is upcoming for the Stoneham Spartans. 54-32, your current score. A much better performance tonight compared to the 66-24 loss against Bishop Fien if you're the Woburn Tanners. And this was actually the opening game of Stoneham season, so not the easiest game to start your schedule, but definitely things to work on, but also good things to take away.
Yeah, and if you're the Tanners, it gets your confidence back after that big loss at Bishop Fien. You know, there might be a couple doubts on how your season's going to go, but they've come into their home court and they've delivered. As plenty of subs come into this basketball game, as we question when Steve Sullivan was going to go deep into his bench, he has. As we see senior Sophia Olsen on the floor, freshman Alina Ianian, shout out to her older brother Dan Ianian.
And also Riley Trask was the ball handler on that last possession.
Trask, one of those juniors who was incredible at DECA today. With number 33 freshman Kaylee Bird, as well as number 20 Jenna Bakari.
Jenna Bakari finishes with the floater on a nice pass by Bird. Getting a little bit of a look into the future of this Lady Tanner basketball program.
Yeah, the camaraderie is fantastic between these teams. In this team, as Bakari got that floater, as the whole bench rose to their feet.
Bakari finds Trask, who uses the Olsen screen. Inside for Bird, who finds Olsen but loses the ball. Back out to Ayenyan. Back out and for Olsen, who floats it up off the cable and out of bounds. But she was fouled, which means she'll get 2 free throws. Acrobatic shot to get it that high, almost going to the ground, but it'll end up as 2 free throws. Interesting stroke there, but it's good. Olsen misses the second one. Speaking of Sophia Olsen, her freshman brother Matt Olsen was one of the 3 freshmen to make this boys basketball team out of tryouts. As the final seconds take away from tonight's ball game, one final drive for the Spartans. It's deflected by Olsen and then blocked, and that will do it for tonight's ball game. The Lady Tanners pick up their first win of their season after tonight's 57-33 victory. And we'll be back, or I won't be back, but we'll be back for more coverage on Wednesday night against Wakefield. That is a boys basketball game. Signing off for our crew here, I am Joey Matroni alongside Zeke Altman. We'll see you on Wednesday.